description.
The
Also
start
linked in the
of free
description is our merch
agency
store, which has cool
2019
shirts like
has us to decide if replacing one all-star point guard for another all-star point guard with remarkably similar numbers will have any effect on the Celtics. And after last year's underachievement, there is no doubt in my mind that Kemba Walker will elevate Boston to new heights. The issues with Kyrie Irving in the Celtics locker room are well reported.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And more stories seem to keep coming out day by day. Knowing he was going to leave, and probably happy about it too, Danny Ainge scrambled to reload, and nabbing Kemba is a huge win for the franchise. I have to imagine that switching Kemba for Kyrie will have a number of benefits. One being that Kemba seems a bit more willing to move without the ball, allowing Brad Stevens to juice up his offense and get back to all the goodness they had going when Isaiah Thomas was drilling shots and getting into the MVP conversation a few years ago. While Kyrie and Kemba's numbers were pretty similar across the board, Kyrie shot considerably better from the floor. And watching how Kemba had to attack in the Hornets offense, it's not hard to see why. The pick and roll was by far his most used category. In fact, of the 28 players with at least 400 pick and roll possessions, he was fourth in percentage of total possessions used in a ball screen. That's a staggering amount of pick and rolls. And what frustrated me was how many of them were unimaginative, to say the least. The double ball screen out of a Horns alignment was by far the most common set James Borrego used to get Kemba attacking with the screen and roll. Here's the double high post with Kemba rubbing off of both screens, turning the corner, and showing us his elite ability to finish at the rim, something that will remind Celtics fans of Kyrie. He'll also surround his man on both sides from this alignment, and he can choose which way to attack. Notice how good he is at using the last step to get into the body of the big. This lets him get the shot off by putting the fear of the foul into Andre Drummond. The constant fear of Kemba getting into the lane in this alignment caused big men to collapse back deep into the paint, and if he got it there, he wasn't passing it out much. It's his downhill threat which then opens up a great mid-range game. Here he splits the double ball screen, gets Okafor retreating, and stops on a dime for the floater. He'll also use these two ball screens to pull up from the three-point line, especially going left, where he already has a natural alignment to the rim, and check the nice hop. With either the double ball screen out high, or just sending a single big to run up and take out Kemba's man, there is a sense of how hard he had to work to get these shots off. There was almost no action beforehand to loosen up the defense, very few handoffs into pick and rolls, not many pin downs to get him a couple of feet of room. Just roll the ball out there, set the screen, and let Kemba do everything. And he was awesome at it, ranking third in the league in points per possession out of all the heavy volume pick and roll players. Interestingly, it was Kyrie Irving who was right behind him in fourth. And Kyrie was no stranger to that same horn set with the double ball screen out top, treating us to some of his fantastic finishing ability with the left. I can't say the Celtics offense was awesome at getting Kyrie easier shots. Here's that same alignment that doesn't get Kyrie an opening, so he goes on a one-man journey into the lane and somehow not only gets the shot off, but banks it in off the glass with another lefty shot. But look at how the Celtics offense would get him off ball first, then come off a pin down from Baines, who would flow right into the pick and roll and get Kyrie a wide open little floater Thomas got into the rim. Isaiah got 11.1% of his possessions using the handoff in that season, which is a significant increase from Kyrie's 8.9%. For whatever reason, Stevens couldn't get Kyrie into more of these situations, and it's my hope that Kemba will be more willing to get off the ball, get a screen, then break back into a handoff. One of my 4 must-have actions in any offense is finding ways to have your players sprint at least 15 feet into a catch. And utilizing the handoff is a great way to do this, as we see Kemba get the easy and one in the lane. Here's a particularly lethal set I didn't see much last year, where it looks like Princeton offense as Crowder shuffle cuts off the high post, then Amir Johnson turns around to set the pin down into a handoff, and while IT didn't turn the corner immediately, it loosened up the defense enough for this wicked crossover and dash to the rim for the layup. Here's an example of Kemba centering the ball, then getting the flare screen, cutting to the other side of the floor, and all the way around into a handoff where he's going fast on the catch, and can catch Bledsoe out of position all the way to the hoop for the easy runner. Perhaps Brad Stevens showed Kyrie these sets, and Kyrie said, "No, I'm not interested in that." The most you'd see him move into the handoff was the 15 feet between the wing and the top, where the Celtics did run a lot of action for him. But I can't help but think he'd have gotten easier shots had he done more moving off the ball back into the handoffs like Isaiah did. It's something that Kemba also seems comfortable doing, and why not? It generally creates easier shots. The difference between Kyrie and Kemba might not be that different from a production standpoint, but I have no doubt Walker will excel in the Isaiah Thomas version of Brad Stevens' offense and blend in seamlessly, with the same kind of fit that you and SeatGeek can have when you're looking for the best seats to any sporting event, concert, or the theater. SeatGeek scours the internet for the best prices, gives them a grade to let you know what kind of deal you're getting, and they fully guarantee each ticket. Let me hook you up on your first purchase. Save $20 by using my code BBALL, and don't forget, when you think tickets, think SeatGeek. Kemba has never been a high assist guy in his career, but he's been consistently ranked around 20th among guards in potential assists, just never having a scorers on his team that would boost his assist numbers up a bit. Here's another example of Kemba being able to sprint across the floor into a handoff/ball screen, and while he won't always wow you with his passing, he does understand how his gravity will open up certain players in front of him for good, accurate passes to open teammates for easy shots. Every so often, you will catch him throwing a Magic Johnson-style pass, and it makes me wonder if Stevens can coax more of this out of him as he'll be playing on the best team he's ever been on. It is important to note that Isaiah had two of his highest assist years when playing in Brad Stevens' system, and even though the numbers aren't gaudy, they were better than his career numbers in assists before he played there. So I'd expect Kemba to get more of these kinds of actions, and now he's passing to guys like Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. Strictly from an on-court production perspective, the Celtics are basically replacing exactly what they're losing with some of the more jaw-dropping, ankle-breaking crossovers in the league. Kemba is more of an explosive athlete, even though his extreme knee valgus is very worrisome to me. But he's been much more durable than Kyrie has been, averaging almost 81 games played the past 4 years. Kyrie in that same time span has averaged only 63 games each season. Plus, the cloud has been lifted, replaced by a great locker room presence that should serve to elevate the young up-and-comers in Tatum and Brown, a tandem that appeared as if they'd take the league by storm 2 years ago, and after the ordeal of last year, have huge question marks stamped on their foreheads. I think Kemba made the right decision, and even though he's already been an elite playmaker a few years now, I'd expect his game to jump to the next level as the offense opens up things for him he didn't get in his tenure in Charlotte. But this might not matter much if Kawhi re-signs in Toronto, not to mention what the Nets just did, signing Kyrie and KD and DeAndre Jordan. Even without KD for a year, the Nets will be significantly better and are loaded. The East is finally going to be a bloodbath, with a lot of great teams vying for those special playoff spots. And with the core of Kemba, Tatum, Brown, and Hayward, I have no doubt they'll get there. And whether or not they crack the top 3 in the East, I know they'll be a better functioning team, and that should count for a lot. Sports fans, Coach Nick again, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then I've got a new online basketball membership where I share with you the best of what NBA teams are doing to help you be more successful on the court. Click the first link in the description or the pinned comment below to learn more. And don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know how you feel about today's video. Check your settings to make sure you get notified each time we drop a new one. After all, at B-Ball Breakdown, not a channel, we're a conversation. You in? Hey!